All right, I am so excited because I'm about to unbox box number 26. So that means the unboxing is done. My whole collection's about to be all unboxed and unpacked, and I can move on with my life and just organize them now, which is going to be a massive, massive job. But I'm ready to be done unboxing games. All right, so first one we have in here is Memoir 44. Memoir 44 is a top 5 game for me. I love this game, and I don't know why. Like, it's not like I'm a big Army fan or anything like that, but I've played it the first time and I'm like, okay, I need to find my own copy. And it replays the Battle of Normandy, and it kind of tells you where every troops were, and then you kind of place them in there again, and it has like a bunch of little miniatures. And then you have cards that'll kind of indicate who you can move, and in what segment of the map that you can be moving them. And you're trying to replay this battle, trying to win the battle. And it is so good. It plays super quick. Like, it's probably about 30 minutes per scenario. So it's a nice, great, good-looking, quick game, and it's just so good. So that's Memoir 44. I also have in here Memoir 44 Mediterranean Theater, which just gives you extra tiles that you can put on the board, and then you have extra character, like miniatures that you will be able to play, and new scenarios that you'll have as well. And then I also got Memoir 44 Eastern Front, and then the same with this one. So this is more like the winter map, and then you have these new miniatures that you get as well, and then again new scenarios that you can play. And then I've joined the Memoir 44 Facebook group, and somebody on there reached out to me, says, oh hey, it's so great to see you and your son playing, because I was playing this with my son mostly, and he made me these tiles, and these are, I mean, I don't know how he's made them. It's like, I don't know, like, I want to say concrete, like a soft concrete, like, well, not soft, but like home, I don't know. I have no idea how he's made them. They look amazing. And he's made me like a bunch of tiles like this. I have like these bridge, because there's bridge that'll be in there. And I have trees, and what else do we have in here? This one. Like the little barracks that you can put everything in. It's stunning. I love these components. And then you put them on your map, and it just makes the game that much better. I just love them. So we have those as well. I'll put that over there. All right, and then I have in here Battle Line. So Battle Line is by Reiner Knizia, and I'm a big fan of Reiner Knizia. And it plays actually almost exactly like Shot and Totten. And you'll have the different cards. Now, it's a very bland looking game. The card, like, it's, I don't know if it's like just a really old version game. It says 2017 on here. It's not that old, but it's a very bland looking game, but it's a neat play. Then you have the different location, and then you're going to be assigning cards to it, trying to win. And you can only put 3 cards per location, and you're trying to win either 5 battles or 3 side by side, I believe. It's been a little while since I've played. So Battle Line is a neat 2-player card game. Then I have Mad Gab. Mad Gab is one that, I mean, it's a mass-produced game, and I really, really like this one. And it's just hilarious. And it's about what you read. Well, not what you read, but what you say when you read different things. And I don't know if you can, but what is that one? My Kojak Son. And you're reading it, My Kojak Son. And you've got to say it again and again until you can figure out what it is you're actually saying. And you're saying Michael Jackson. So this is one that I really enjoy. We've played it lots, and it's great. So that's Mad Gab. Then I have Anomia. So I had Anomia Party Edition, and this is the adult version, I guess, of this one. And it's where you have cards, you'll be placing cards in front of you, and when you have a matching symbol with somebody else, you got to shout out as quick as you can a word from the category that is in front of the other player that has a matching symbol. And you're like, oh, and then you kind of shout out what you're, the first person to come up with something gets that card, and then they win the point. And then whoever has the most point at the end of the game is the winner. So that's Anomia. Then I have, Dominion Intrigue. So I bought this one quite a while ago, 2017, when I first got into board game. This might have been the first one I purchased myself. I bought this one thinking it was a standalone game, and it wasn't. Luckily for me, my brother had the gold cards and like an extra set of those, so he gave them to me to make this into a standalone game. This is the only Dominion I owned for many years until a friend of mine was selling the original one, so now I have Intrigue and the original one. Then I also have in here, Brass Birmingham. And this is really heavy because I have the iron clays in here. And this is what is it? It's a card game. Like, you have cards, you have the map. It's in the industrial era, and I guess it's area controlling. You're trying to create these industries. And it plays in 2 eras. And the first one, if you build up your industry enough into the second level, they'll be around in the next era, and otherwise they kind of reset. And it has interesting with this too, because you've got the cards that you can kind of either utilize to build the business or to get to the location and build at that location. Like, it has a bit of like a multi-use, and you got to decide which way you're going to use them. So that's Brass Birmingham. I also played Brass Lancashire. Lancashire was the first one that I played. Birmingham has like the little beer barrel or ale, but yeah, it's a neat game. It takes a long time to set up. If a game needs like a tray that kind of has everything preset and ready to go, it's this one, because you have all these little tiles you got to sort, and then you got to put them in the proper order, and it could use something that just makes setup super easy. So I'll have to see. My friend Ashley has a business where she does inserts for games, so maybe there's something that would work better for Brass. I'll have to check with her. Then I have, this game is old, and it looks really old. I don't know how old this is. But this is Waterworks, and this is one that we played as a kid so much. And it's neat because the card holder is like a little bathtub, and then you have these little metal ranch that you use to kind of fix the different pipes. And then you have the different pipes you're going to be adding to it, and so you got how cool are those? Just the components in this one are really neat, and it's just a nostalgia game for me, so it's neat. And then yeah, like the little bathtub card holder, it's cool. So Waterworks. And then I have Red Rising. This is a Stonemaier game. The components are very cool into it, and then it was kind of neat the way it played, because you have the different cards that comes out, and then you're playing, and then you're trying to make these combination, and you're trying to activate the different location, and then kind of increase your level on each of those tracks, I guess. But you can bring in new cards, but it tends to be like the card that you start with will be the cards that you will see the most. It was really different. It's based on a book series that I have never read, so that wasn't the appeal for me. And then you have like this little tray that has all like these plastic gems. The components are great, the cards are great, and it was just interesting on how the gameplay worked. And I just really enjoyed it. It felt very unique. So that's Red Rising. Then in here I have Blackout Hong Kong. I've never played this one, but it feels like it has a bit of a pandemic feel to me. It's cooperative. You're in Hong Kong and the power goes out and you're going around trying to help people to survive this outage by bringing food, by doing different things. It looks really interesting. And it has like this little rondelle thing in here that I've watched a tutorial once, but I'm not sure. So I am excited to give this a try. So that's Blackout Hong Kong. Then I have Ticket to Ride Europe. Ticket to Ride, the Europe kind of adds the station. So one of the things that can be so frustrating with Ticket to Ride is you're building your thing, your map, you're trying to get into your route, and then somebody blocks you. And then you can't complete what you were hoping to complete, and then it kind of messes you all up. And this one allows you to put a station that will kind of let you use somebody's route for that. And it kind of, it's still frustrating because it's harder to use a station, but it takes away from that. Well, great, now you've totally wrecked my plan and I can't do what I wanted, and then what's the point of playing anymore? So it kind of takes that frustration away. You have the map, you're collecting the different colored trains, and then you build your routes. It's a very neat game. It's a classic, honestly. It's one that I'll keep in my collection probably, or at least some version of Ticket to Ride. So the one I have is Europe. Then I have Formula D. This is one that the kids love. Every time it's like, hey, let's play Formula D, nobody fights. Like, oh, okay, yeah, we're coming, sounds good. And you have this big map, and there's two-sided, so you can play like the dark version or this one. And then everybody gets this little, but it's a shifter. And you shift up and down depending on what gear you're in, which dice you're going to roll. And they have all the different dice. So those kind of showcased on here a little bit. But you have all the different dice, and then they have like a different range of numbers. And then the higher gear, the higher the number. The lower gear, the lower the number. It's really neat. But then you have, like, when you take corners, you have to stop so many times in the corner. Otherwise, you're going to, like, blow through the corner. You're going to take tire damage if you go too fast. You're going to take engine damage and brake damage. And you're trying to kind of stay in one piece, do the race, and come out first if you can. And that's Formula D. And then I have Dungeons and Dragons, Castle Ravenloft. And this is one that my brother had when I first got into the hobby, and I played his once, and it's a dungeon crawl. Like, you have these maps that you add, and then they're interlocked with each other so that they don't come apart and move around, and you have all these little miniatures, and you're kind of going through, and there's different scenarios that you can set up and play. It looks amazing. Like I said, I played it the one time, just like the beginner scenario, and I'm excited to give this another try. Then, I am a big fan of Tiny Epic games, and those are made by Gameling Games, and I've heard somebody kind of complain, was like, why are they always all so small? Like, just make a full-size game. And it's like, Gameling Game, listen to them, is like, oh yeah, hold my beer. And then they made Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. I won this one at a auction at Gobfest for 25 bucks. Look at this game. It's massive. There's so much game to this, and it looks so amazing. So you have the board, you have the miniatures, you have like these 3D built ships. I have no idea how it plays because I haven't played this yet. Because Gobfest was, a few months ago now, and then there's Malcon, and then there was the moving, so I haven't had a chance to play this, but I am excited, and it looks great. And then in here, I have Incoherent, which is basically Mad Gab. And when I found out that they had another one like this, I wanted it just to get new cards, kind of new things that you could read out. Now, between the two, I prefer Mad Gab. I think just the combination, the words are better with Mad Gab, but this just gives me like a whole new set of cards that we can do as well. All right, and then I have Tiny Epic Pirate Curse of Amdiak, and this is just an extended. My phone fell off the its little holder. I nearly jumped out of my skin. But this is like the last game, so we'll just finish this one. It's just an expansion for the Tiny Epic Pirates. It adds like a ghost ship and then these little ghost pirates. I haven't played this expansion, so I don't know how it compares. And actually, there is just one final thing in here. And this is my oops, you can't even see, this is my palm. This is the 2021 calendar, and it's the board game art creation. I was so excited. This was gifted to me by my friend Michael, and it's so amazing. If you look closely, these are all made with board game components that she's put together and does all these different artworks. And I mean, 2021 is over, but I'm never getting rid of this calendar because I love the images so much. So that is it for my final unboxing, and I'm done. I'm free. Unboxing is over. We can now move on to organizing, which is a daunting task in its own. But be sure to tune in tomorrow to see the big reveal of the board game room and see what it all looks like. I mean, you've had kind of a little sneak peek here and there. I'm super excited about this space. This is the best part about moving. So bye, everybody.